All right, guys. Our next guest is a former Strike Force champion. He's currently in the UFC welterweight division. They call him the Sponge. He is none other than Tarec Saffiedine. Tarec, welcome to Submission Radio. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, it's absolutely our pleasure. It's great to have you on. Now, let's get to it, Tarec. You have a big step up in competition in Rory MacDonald at UFC Fight Night 54 on October the 4th. I think a lot of people expected Rory to be getting a title shot after his last performance, but instead you guys have a great fight coming up. Did you expect the fight with Rory, and what was your reaction when you heard about it?
I wasn't really expecting it to fight him, but at the same time I asked for that fight, People were asking me who I want to fight next, and after I watched him fight Tyron Woodley, I was like, man, I want to fight that guy, and I want to fight the best, and he's one of the best. He's one of the, the guys available right now also, as I'm coming up from an injury, and, it would be, I believe it was an exciting fight to put on, and so I asked for the fight, and he gave it to me, so that's an awesome fight for me.
Now, Tarec, let's have a look at Rory MacDonald for a second. Obviously, he's quite a complete fighter, but when you look at yourself matching up with him, what are some of the advantages that you see that you have over Rory in this upcoming fight?
You're as good as your last fight, right? So when I watch his fight against Tyron, he did good. Nothing to take away from him. But while I was watching that fight, man, I was like, man, I can beat that guy. The way he moves, the way he throws punches, the way he set up his kicks, the way he set up his takedowns. I truly believe I have the skills and the mindset to beat him, and that's one of the reasons why I had that fight as well. And he's a technical fighter. He kind of keeps the same pace as the fight goes on. He has an okay boxing. His kicks are okay. His wrestling is not bad, but I don't think he's going to be able to take me down. And I think, I match up pretty well, with him as far as technique. If I put a good game plan and I have a pretty good idea of what I'm going to do, if I stick to it, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get the W.
Now, you said that you're obviously coming off an injury. Is there anything specific or different that you've been doing in training to help prepare for Rory's style?
Trying to stay away from injury. That's all. Yeah, it's been I've been dealing with injury for the past year and a half. It's been really frustrating, but I guess every athlete, every fighter goes through that, and so all I'm doing is trying to train as hard as I can, as smart as I can, and as injury free as I can. So far so good. Touching wood so far.
Now, Tarec, while you were on the sidelines, Matt and Robbie Lawler had a fight. It was quite popular. It was, to decide who was going to fight for the title next. Did you watch the fight? What did you think of the performances of Robbie Lawler and Matt Brown?
It was a good fight. It was an exciting fight for the fans. Matt Brown showed his toughness. He's tough, and he just proved how tough he is. Robbie, kind of respect Matt Brown's power and his ability to be so tough throughout the fight, even though he was getting tired, even though he got cut at some point, and so it was an exciting fight. Technically, it wasn't the most technical fight, but it was an exciting fight.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. Now, Robbie is supposed to get a title shot, or he will. And obviously your opponent, Rory MacDonald, he's probably generally consensus the number 2 in the division in terms of rankings. If you beat him, you'd be making a very strong case for a title shot as well. Do you think that if you get a dominant win at Fight Night 54, you should be in the title picture as well?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, definitely. It's one of the reasons why I had the fight also, because he's the top. He's up there. He's one. I have everything to gain from winning that fight. I have everything to gain, nothing to lose. I think he has more to lose than me. I have to put on a good fight. I have to win decisively. If I win by decision, which I hope I don't, I have to win every round. I cannot make any, can't leave it to the judges in a way that it might go one way or another. I have to win decisively. And after that W, definitely, that would put me right there at the mix.
And, Johny Hendricks will be out for quite a while. Do you think it's right for Robbie to wait around for Johny Hendricks, or do you think if the layoff is exceptionally long, perhaps you should get an opportunity to fight Robbie Lawler for the title shot?
After the Rorys fight?
After the Rory fight, let's say you have a dominant win over Rory.
I don't make those decisions, and I really don't look past any of my opponents. I never did. I will never do. I'm just focused on Rory right now, and winning that fight is my biggest goal right now. And whatever is next, we'll see. The minute after the fight. But so far, I just focus on Rory.
Okay, sure. We also wanted to just get your opinion, just in general, in the welterweight picture. Johny Hendricks, he's the champion. Big shake-up now. Old news now, but big shake-up with the welterweight division with GSP gone. Everyone's gunning for that title. Do you think Johny Hendricks will be a champion for a while, similar to GSP, or do you think, his hands are pretty full in that welterweight division?
That's a good question. I don't know. We'll see. It's like you said. It's been really exciting since GSP left because I believe everybody in the top 10, top 5 is one fight away, one really good win away from a title shot. Everybody is has the tool to fight to get a shot at the title. Everybody has his chance if they put on a good fight, good performance, and we are all hungry for that belt. And so I don't think Hendrick is going to hold on to it for too long. So everybody's coming after it. So I don't think his fight against Robbie Lawler was so close. Robbie is on a good run on his way back to get that fight. Hendricks has been injured. So we'll see. It's going to be next year is going to be even more exciting, I believe.
Oh, absolutely, Tarec. And if you had to pick one person to win that fight between Hendricks and Robbie Lawler, well, who do you think you'd lean towards more?
The rematch. I don't know, man. I'm not good at prediction, but I would say I would give it to Robbie because he has been really active. He's been really looking really good, and I don't know how Hendricks is going to come back after that injury. I don't know if it was a big one or a small injury, but I would go a little bit more towards Robbie.
Okay. Now, obviously, your end goal is to win that UFC title belt and, put it up there with your Strikeforce belt. And we saw a video, and you've got a very nice and sleek cabinet in your house, courtesy of your wife, with the Strikeforce Championship belt and some photos from your fights. The only question is, the cabinet is looking pretty full. Assuming you win that UFC belt, where are you going to put that belt?
We can always make some room. There's no problem with that. There's always room, and so I'll find room anywhere. Even if I have to buy another cabinet, no problem.
Now, the special thing about you, Tarec, is you fight out of Belgium. It's a country where MMA hasn't exactly blown up as much as Australia or America. Watching a guy like Conor McGregor, do you believe that if you do get into the title picture and you do win the title, it will help the UFC develop further in your home country?
Yeah, that would be awesome, and that's definitely one of my goals to bring UFC to Belgium. Yeah, like you said, MMA in Belgium, in the MMA scene, is not as exciting as even in Australia, and so it's coming up. A lot of people get more and more interested, but definitely, if I fight for the title or if I win that title, it would definitely bring MMA in another dimension if the UFC comes to Belgium, and that's what I'm putting for the next year. Hopefully, maybe next year or the year after.
Awesome. And Tarec, there's a few fan questions we want to ask. So tell the fans you're going to be on the show, and they sent in their questions. So we've got a few ready for you if you're ready.
Yeah, sure.
So just quickly, first question. There was a good one here. Here we go. Spidey wants to know, how is your son's kicking coming along, and have you had to buy a new sofa yet?
I'm sorry, say it again?
How is your son's kicking coming along, and have you had to buy a new sofa?
My son retired a few months ago. He just hangs the gloves, and he's more focused on school right now and being nice with his parents. And he right now so far is the sofa is good also. So
That's good to hear. Now, here's a question from Kurtol. He wants you to know that you've got plenty of fans, and his question is, how much weight do you cut?
I don't cut too much weight. I'm not that type of guy who is gonna make a big cut. I don't like to do that. I don't think it's about really how big and how strong and how much you cut weight. It's more about how you feel and how skillful you are. A lot of people they pay a lot of attention about how strong you are, how much weight you cut, how big you are. But it's not really about that. It's about how you feel, about how skillful or your mind is, and cutting weight is something that a lot of people pay a lot of attention to. But I think it's more a negative side of MMA than it's actually a positive side.
Okay. And just out of curiosity, before I ask the next question, so how much would you, on a fight night, how much do you weigh roughly?
Oh, right now I'm like in kilos or pounds?
Oh, in pounds.
In pounds, I'm probably around 190, between 190 and 185.
And that's now, or is that on fight night?
Sorry?
Is that now, or is that like when you fight, like on fight night?
Oh, on fight night. On fight night, I'm probably around 180, 187, maybe 185, something like that. Not the biggest welterweight.
Okay. Fair enough. Last fan question. Big Gulp wants to know, what do you think is stiffer, Rory's fighting style or your leg kicks?
For what, sorry?
What the question is, what do you think is stiffer, Rory MacDonald's fighting style or your leg kicks?
My leg kicks, huh? I would say.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, Tarec, we've got a fun little segment here. It's called the Submission Ready Tap Out Round. It's where we shoot some fun questions at you, and you answer with the first thing that comes to mind. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. If you had to pick who the greatest of all time in MMA is, who's the first name that comes to your mind?
The what? Sorry, oh, man, my connection is no good.
That's okay. If you had to pick who the greatest fighter of all time is in MMA in any weight class, what's the first name that comes to your mind?
The greatest of all time.
But
man, I don't know.
We picked a hard
first
one.
name, but you can say Fedor. It's okay if you say Fedor on this program.
Yeah. I would say. I really like Sakuraba.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sakuraba. I think that guy definitely deserves a lot of respect. Now, Tarec, here's an easy one. Other than Belgian waffles, what's another Belgian food that we have to try?
Belgian food. You know what? We are really famous for beer and chocolate, but we are really good as well as for ice cream. So a good ice cream would be. If you go to Belgium, try ice cream. They have some pretty good ones as well.
Is there beer, ice cream, or anything like that? Combine the two?
Yeah, ice cream and waffles. That's a good mix.
Yeah.
I'm just getting fat listening to this interview now. Tarec, if you could rematch Tyron Woodley, how do you think the outcome would be?
It would be a different outcome than our first fight. When I fought him, I fought stupid. I didn't fight the way I wanted to. I fell into his game plan, and this won't happen again. And I will have him raised for a rematch.
Okay. Now, Tarec, finish this sentence. People don't know that I...
People don't know that I'm a romantic guy.
All right. They know now.
They know now, yeah.
Now, Tarec, the Sponge is a great nickname. However, if you wanted to change it, the Submission Radio Marketing Department have come up with 3 options for you to choose from. So I'm going to read out the options and you choose your favorite one, okay?
All right.
Okay, so the first one is Tarec, leg kicking kicker kicks Saffiedine. The second one is Tarec, the Count of Monte Fisto Saffiedine. Or the final one is the man formerly known as Sponge, and you would require to come out to Purple Rain for all of your fights if you chose this option. Now, Tarec, which one do you choose?
let's do the third one then.
I could.
The man.
Could you just
formerly known
imagine
as
you
Sponge.
coming out of Purple Rain? That would be the best, especially in Belgium. That would be amazing.
I know, right? I know.
Now, Tarec, what's the best advice you've ever gotten from a coach?
From a coach, enjoy yourself. You know, you train hard and enjoy yourself in the cage. Just enjoy yourself when you fight. Just right before a fight, you know.
And finally, Tarec, how do you plan on winning against Rory MacDonald at UFC Fight Night 54?
I plan on putting an exciting fight. I plan on winning that fight and having my hand raised at the end. That's what I'm training hard for every day, and that's what I'm doing everything that I can to beat him on October 4th.
Can't wait. Absolutely. Guys, Tarec Saffiedine versus Rory MacDonald at Fight Night 54. It's going to be on October 4th, or if you're in Australia, October 5th, because of the time difference. You can follow Tarec Saffiedine at Tarec Fighter on Twitter and visit his website, tarecsaffiedine.com. The spelling is tough, but we'll have a link at the bottom. And of course, Fight Night 54. Watch it. Tarec, thank you so much for being on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, it's been my pleasure as well. Thank you so much for your time as well, guys. Appreciate it.